Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well, hope you're all having a fabulous weekend. I thought today I would finally take the time to do a video and chat to you guys about my recent diet and how it went, or how well it didn't go, really. I finished my diet a few weeks ago now, but I just wanted to take some time to reflect and see how I've gone kind of coming off the diet before I came on to chat about it. I think some of the times people will do a diet and they'll get to the end bit and they'll be like, oh my god, look how successful I was, but then all this bullshit goes down as they come off the diet and it just turns out terribly. So I think having a plan for after the diet is just as important as the diet itself. So far so good. I will chat about it, but I got my protein delivery yesterday, my monthly allowance from them, so I just thought that I would unbox it and go through with you guys what I got, because I got some of my favorite products, sugar-free maple syrup. Some of these products, they're also going to be going into a giveaway that I'm doing because I have my next powerlifting competition in 3 weeks from now. This lemon sherbet flavor is fantastic. This is my second favorite flavor. My favorite is the strawberry kiwi flavor. Next powerlifting competition, 3 weeks from now, I'm going to be doing a giveaway as part of it, so some of these things that I'm unboxing for you guys will be in that giveaway. Another pre-workout sachet, that'll be in the giveaway. Some of the Flav drops. So yeah, these are some of my fave products. And then I have a box of the absolute best 6-layer bars. These are actually the best protein bars that I've ever had ever. And I'm pretty picky when it comes to protein bars. You've got to have the right combination of flavor and texture and macros. And then I've got some bits of clothing as well. So this that I'm going to put on, that's what it is. It's got logo at the back and logos down the side. It's the kind of hoodie that looks like it's too cool for me. Normally I get a large, this crop top is from my protein. I love this one. It's a power mesh. And I got this in a large, and that's because it's tight fitting and I have quite broad shoulders, and so I have to size up whenever I go for tees or long sleeves that are tight fitting. But because this was loose fitting, I decided to go for a medium. Oh, this is sick. Yeah, this is too cool for me. Too cool for me. Here we go. I like this. This is gonna stay on for the rest of the video. Oh, sick. Alright. What else have we got? Got this power short sleeve crop top. I already own this in navy. So yeah, as you can see, I got a large in this one because it's tight fitting, broad shoulders, all that kind of thing. Love these crops, which is why I got another one. And then because I'm a nerd, I also got a backpack because, I don't know, sometimes you just need a good backpack, guys. So I got a backpack, and I think my next order I'll probably get a new gym bag as well, because I don't just have everyone's just thinks about the supplements. I actually get quite few actual supplements from my protein. The majority of things I get, as you can see, there's some pre-workout, but there's snacks, there's a sugar-free syrup, there are protein bars, and then sick clothing as well, and gym accessories. So yeah, that's my protein haul for this month. Stay tuned because I'm going to post on YouTube and do a video about the giveaway that will be happening as part of my competition. As always, you can get 40% off my protein with my code MWizMyP. That's also half price shipping, and I always appreciate when you guys use the link, the affiliate link, which is in the description box below. Alright, let's pack all this up and then chat about this diet that's gone on. So let's start at the start. I got back from Japan in April, and I sat down with my coach and we were planning out the rest of the year, essentially. We were planning out the next 8 months, and I said, look, at some point over the next 8 months, I will want to diet and lose a few kilos. Where's it going to kind of fit in? And we decided and settled on that it would have been best for me to diet then, at the time in April, just kind of timing purposes. So I started my diet in mid-April, and the plan was to lose 3 kilos, that's all I wanted to lose, over the course of 8 weeks. That's not a lot of weight, and it's a pretty reasonable kind of time period for that kind of weight loss. It's like 0.38 kilos per week, which would have been fine. And normally when I start a diet phase, I'll like drop a kilo of water within the first few days kind of thing. And that's just because you're eating less carbohydrates, and when you eat carbohydrates, you store them in your muscles and you store them with water. So eat less carbs, you've got less water, you lose water weight kind of thing. Yeah, so it didn't quite go to plan. As you probably kind of figured out, the diet went a little bit longer than that. It went longer than 8 weeks. It went for 11 weeks. So the diet finished a few weeks ago, and at that time I took a little video of how I was looking. I don't have a video or anything else to kind of compare it against. I'll show some photos later, but this is a little physique update to show you guys how I was looking at the end of my diet. So that's that. I'm happy with how I look. I mean, I was happy with how I look to start with, but we'll get to that. As you guys will know, if you're regulars here, you'll know that I love my graphs and I love comparing kind of in a fat loss phase how my weight is tracking compared to my calories and all that kind of thing. So I thought it would be best to put a visual up on the screen of how my diet tracked in that regard. Please keep in mind that this was guided by a coach. The numbers are obviously very specific for me. You can see that the calories that I was on were directly in relation to how my body was responding. So you'll be able to see the logic behind why we did what we did, but just keep in mind, again, these numbers are just for me and it was all guided by a coach. So I purposely wanted to start my diet on reasonable calories just to kind of ease into it, because I'd only just recently kind of gotten back from holiday. So I started on 1,900 calories, which is pretty easy for me. Yes, there were 2 occasions, as you've probably immediately seen, where I overate. These overeating episodes were a few thousand calories. Maybe some people would call them a binge. But I don't know, I didn't feel immensely guilty or anything afterwards. I just kind of moved on. Yes, they slowed my progress, but I was still just kind of not dropping weight in line with what you'd expect considering the calories that I was on. Yes, I was dropping weight, but I mean, I spent 6 weeks under 1,700 calories and my weight was moving, but just not very quickly. And I only lost 2 kilos really over the course of 11 weeks. And that's not a very good result. Yes, I could have kept going. I could have kept pushing it. I probably would have reached my 3 kilo goal, but we just decided to call it. Pretty much what happened was I got sick at the end of June. I was 6 weeks out from my powerlifting competition, and I needed energy. Like 5,500 calories is not enough. And I needed to be able to have as much energy as possible to recover from being sick and to recover from the training stress from preparing for the powerlifting competition. So we're just like, look, yep, didn't reach my goal, but it's time to increase calories and cut our losses, I guess. So here's some pictures of how I looked, just kind of a side-by-side comparison from a couple of different angles. Yes, there is like a minor difference, but it's only like a 2 kilo difference because I only lost 2 kilos in 11 weeks, guys. I've got no real idea why this diet didn't really work. I mean, yes, I did lose weight, but 2 kilos over 11 weeks isn't ideal. And yes, I did overeat on 2 occasions, but like, I was pretty good, you guys. Like, I was pretty bang on the money, on point for 11 weeks. And so I've done structured diets in the past. I follow the same kind of formula. Just didn't get the same result, and I'm still scratching my head a little bit as to why it didn't really work. In the past, I've got body composition scans done at the start and the end of a diet phase, just so I can kind of compare the changes in my fat mass and the changes in my lean mass. I chose not to get one this time just because I just didn't want to obsess over that detail. And honestly, last time I got one at the end of my diet, which was in like January of last year, it made me feel really shit about myself. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to put myself in a position where I could potentially feel shit about myself. Also, I didn't get the kind of result from the diet that I wanted anyway, so I wasn't going to go and do a DEXA scan. I was just going to go off photos and measurements and weight as my feedback. As someone, I'm very much someone, I like to achieve the goals that I set out to achieve. I mean, I have this on my necklace, right? My necklace says never ever give up. I don't think that I like gave up on my diet, although I did. I think it was like it's time to kind of like give this up for better things, I guess. So I guess I was frustrated a little bit that I didn't set out the goal that I wanted to achieve, but I've had some time now to reflect, and I was actually less emotionally invested than I have been in the past. I thought that I would care more, or maybe that I should care more, that I didn't reach my goal, but I was just kind of like, that's my feeling about my diet. It's just a bit of that emoji. That's how I feel. And I think that like nonchalance, it's just a time thing. Because I remember like a few years ago where I cared so much about what I weighed, and that there was just so much emotional investment in what I weighed and wanting to weigh less and letting it dictate my worth. And I've come a long way since then. And it's nice in a way to realize that, where you weren't successful in losing weight and then you're okay with it. And really, I think a lot of it comes from the fact that I was really quite happy with how I looked like to begin with. Like, I look good. I'm happy with how I look, you guys. Like, I guess my decision to diet was coming partly from a place of vanity, and I did want to look better, but I already quite liked how I looked, so, or how I look now. So the fact that my diet failed, it was like, oh, I'll just continue on being happy in my own skin. That's all good. And that's quite nice. And I guess when you already like the way that you look, if you're unsuccessful at weight loss or whatever, it makes it way easier. It's very easy to give up dieting, and it was pretty easy for me to make that decision. And now I get to go on and I get to go out and eat more French toast because, guys, I missed out on so many weeks of French toast while I was on 1,550 calories. I missed out on so much Messina as well. I actually had to give myself a gelato Messina ban, not because I couldn't fit it into my macros, but because I knew that if I had a tub of gelato Messina, I would start eating it and I would just not stop. Because, I mean, 1,550 calories, I was pretty deprived, and you're pretty much like teetering on the edge of like snapping and losing it and like having a binge or something like that. So I just had to like not eat any gelato Messina for like 5 or 6 weeks. It was not a fun time. Anyway, that was a little bit of a tangent, but now I get to go back and I was being social, but I actually get to like eat and be social and eat more fun foods and eat ice cream even though it's in the middle of winter. I do not give a fuck. So now I get to focus more on my powerlifting competition and just kind of like going back to normal life. I mean, 11 weeks was not that bad in the scheme of things, in the scheme of the whole year. I mean, it's probably 11 weeks out of the whole year that I'm going to diet. Will I diet again? Yes. Like, I will diet again at some point in my life. I have no idea when it will be. I don't think it'll be this year. Maybe next year. And I don't know, maybe I'll give it a go then and maybe it'll work. So if you have any questions, please leave them below. I feel like I haven't covered this like diet recap as in depth as I have previous ones, but I think that's also just because I've been more chill about it. But any questions, leave them below. Any comments, any suggestions for future content, leave them below. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate if you gave me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, make sure you click subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.